big
Yes,
topic.
timeless. It's a huge topic, and you look stunning, by the way. So we have to hear what your tips are. But I just want to let our audience know that you are a holistic therapist, esthetician, coach, and so much more. So, Katrina, before we begin, I'm going to spotlight you. I'd love for you to share a little bit more about your background and why you're so passionate about this.
Well, I've been in the industry for 28 years and I started off in beauty therapy and then I went on to do alternative therapies, reflexology, aromatherapy, crystal healing, color therapy, and so much more. So, my interest was always in facials and anti-aging, but I had all these different modalities that I could offer. So I thought, how can I put all of my experience into one treatment? So within a facial, I did color therapy, reflexology, and crystal healing. So it turned into quite an experience, not just one-dimensional facial. And then from there, I just, traveled around the world. I'm an international visiting practitioner. So I go to all these amazing spas in the Maldives, Thailand, Greece, offering my services. And yeah, and so along the way, as we get older, anti-aging, was always my passion. My mother taught me how to cleanse my skin when I was 12 years old. So I think integrated at a very early age.
It's so interesting because you have this beautiful glow to your skin, and you just look so healthy and radiant. And I think I definitely would like to know more about how to get that. And I know there's a lot of things involved with it, but if you would just start off sharing with our viewers and our listeners, what is an esthetician and what do you do with your clients?
Well, an esthetician is somebody that's um, works with skin. So a beauty therapist is somebody that does manicure, pedicure, waxing, but an esthetician is a skin specialist. So, because I have all these different modalities that I work with, I look at the whole mind, body, spirit of a person. So, by using the color test, and speaking to the client, you must always ask her what she wants. What does she expect from the treatment? Because you might see one thing, but she sees another. So, you have to educate your clients. And I think that there's a big gap in the market there.
Katrina, you mentioned she. Do you also work with men?
I do. I do, but that's the minority. I mean, in this day and age, there's a lot more men having treatments, manicures, pedicures, facials, but they'll tend to go to the cheaper places, and they don't, want to spend $200 on a facial. But it's coming, it's getting there slowly, slowly. Yeah. I think there's a fine line with men. There's a lot of men having Botox filler now, and I think men need to be men. I think it can look very weird on a man when he has too much work done, and it just doesn't look good. Unfortunately, men age and they look very charismatic. Women age and they just look old.
A couple of things. If there are any men out there watching who would love to put a comment in, are you going for facials? And if so, how much would you normally spend? Don't be shy. We'd love to know. I have a funny story for you. So I was dating this guy and we were actually in Florida at the time and I wanted to get my Botox done. And he said, I think I'll get some as well. And I said, great. And so while we were there, he said, anything else you want to get done? I said, I'm going to have my lips done actually. When I tell you, his forehead went from here back to here. His hair was starting here. He had like a giant forehead, and I had these enormous. I was like, I couldn't even talk, and I had a big business meeting the next day. I'm telling you, it was hilarious. My boss, I picked him up at the airport, and he said, I won't use the language he used, but he's like, "What did you do to yourself? You look like a freak."
You have to give yourself a few days to recover from that. There is so many I can't get the word out. So many nerve endings in the lips, and it's super sensitive. So when you inject, they instantly react. So you have to be careful. And lips is a very, very specialized area. You have to go to a doctor that really knows what she's doing, because, you know, everybody looks like they've got a trap out, and it's just not attractive. It really isn't attractive. I think nowadays with social media and everything, I think there's a very much a distorted image of what beauty actually is. And that's very sad to me. And all these young girls, I mean, for me, it's something I feel very strongly about. And I think these doctors should be shot. You know, they're injecting 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds. It's ridiculous, really.
You bring up some really good points. Now, I want to talk about what we can do before we turn to Botox. I've been getting Botox for 28 years, I think. And, you know, sometimes I wonder what is the impact that it's having on my muscles and my skin, but I continue to go back 3 times a year. But what can we do before we get to the point where we need to do some of that work? And obviously, everybody's not in favor of it. So I'm going to spotlight you, and let's hear your expert suggestions.
Okay, so there's quite a few things you can do before you have Botox. You know, regular facials are a must, and what you're using at home is of paramount importance. So forget about what I'm doing. Do you have the right skincare? Because that's where we start. That's where it starts, and that's where it ends. Because skincare at home is going to regenerate your skin. Your skin is a living organ, so it's shedding thousands and thousands of skin cells every day. So when you use the right products, you're keeping it vibrant and fresh. Products for anti-aging are very important: vitamin C, vitamin A. So they regenerate the skin. They stave away fine lines and wrinkles, and they're 2 of the major anti-aging ingredients, along with hyaluronic acid. Some of the professional skincare lines now have frown serums. So you actually rub it in the lines of your face, and it really does make a big difference. So the younger you can start with that, the better.
So let me pop in here on that. So I remember I worked in cosmetics as a part-time job for many years. I worked for some of the biggest brands, and there was a company, because with an S, that they sold this cream that you could rub into your forehead or other muscles, and it would act as a paralyzing agent, just like Botox. So is that what you're talking about?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And there are many skin brands. I mean, my favorite one is Environ, which is a South African clinical brand, and they have frown serum, and it's spectacular. I mean, it really does make a difference. But you have to use it every day. You have to really rub it into the lines, and in 1 month you'll see quite a difference.
And Katrina, how long does that last?
It's long term. If you keep using it, it builds up. So it builds up all the collagen and elastin, so it lasts long term. It's a long term result. But
so when,
you know, Botox is primarily based on the way you move your face, how much you smile, you cry, you know, you frown, and all that. So this is how all the lines across here are determined, from your facial expression.
Now, I just want to clarify so I think that Botox paralyzes the muscles, right? So see, I can't move my forehead. It sounds like what you're saying with these products, they plump it up. They plump up the skin.
Yeah, yeah. And some of them do have kind of numbing agents in them. So it does kind of semi freeze the lines on the face. And I mean, there was Jeunesse Global was a multi-level marketing company, and they had this miracle thing. Within 2 minutes, it took all the bags out from under your eyes. It took all these marionette lines out, like in 2 minutes. But it was very papery on the skin, so you had to be careful how you applied it, and that lasted for 8 hours.
So you have a big event coming up, and you just use this product, and you look years younger. Now, we had talked about this before on another show, but in addition to our face, we have to take care of our neck and also our hands, because our hands really give away our age. Are there any products like this that we can also use in these areas?
You can, whatever you do to your face, you must do to your neck and your décolleté. It's one. You know, the neck ages faster than the face, and around the eyes, the skin is very different, and the chest is always exposed more to the sun. So you must use richer creams on the neck and the décolleté. And again, take your AHAs, your vitamin A, your vitamin C right down onto the breastbone. It's very important because that really gives away a woman's age as we get older. And you know, whatever you do on the face, you can do on the hands. Microneedling, peeling. You can peel the hand. You can use laser on the hands. It's skin. So where the skin, you can treat it the same, you know, with a few variations here and there.
Great points. I'm also wondering, for all these years, we've been hearing about the importance of sunscreen. And I started thinking to myself that, because I have a lot of allergies, that whatever you put on your skin, it gets absorbed, it goes into your body. So, how important is it to wear sunscreen, or maybe just wear a huge hat and keep yourself covered up?
No. UV penetrates through everything. It bounces off the ground. You could be sitting in the sun all day under the shade and still get sunburned. So don't be fooled by that. Sun protection is one of the best things you can do for anti-aging. There are many on the market now. Zinc. You look for titanium dioxide and zinc in your products. Minerals are very good. They block out the UV light because UV is also present when the sun's not there. As long as it's the light of day, you're absorbing UV light, and that's where you're getting the free radical damage and the aging. You'll see people that drive a car all day long. One side of their face is visibly older than the other. I mean, even on my face, you can see I've corrected it with fillers and mesotherapy, but I had two severe lines here compared to the side of my face. And it was because I was always in the car. So sun protection is super important. Wear big glasses with a good UV screen and a big hat. You should
And
never.
what about on our hands?
Yeah, the hands are a problem when you're on the beach and you're outside, you know, unless you want to go back to the 60s and wear these long, lovely gloves. You can actually wear gloves that you can wear these cotton gloves when you drive, because driving also, there's a certain, I think it's 60% of UV light gets through the windscreen.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So everybody look in the mirror and see if one side of your face is tan and the other side isn't, and your hands as well. So, Katrina, I want to go back to the facial. Now, when I've had facials in the past, a lot of times the pollutants and toxins come out of your face, right? And so you go to somebody like you who knows how to deal with it. What if we're at home, we do a self facial, and we start experimenting and trying to get all of the whiteheads and blackheads out? Is that a good idea?
Not really, because you can spread bacteria unless you know what you're really doing. I would leave the extraction to a professional, but you can exfoliate. You must exfoliate actually at least once a week, once or twice a week, once a week to 10 days for oily skin. Dry skins can do it once or twice a week. Sensitive, maybe every 10 days. And you could get different exfoliators. I prefer the gel exfoliators with alpha hydroxy acids because then they just eat away at the dead skin. When you've got abrasives, they scratch the skin microscopically. So I'm not a fan. I think, and some skincare brands say don't exfoliate at all. Like lots of massage on the face is good enough exfoliation, which is true also. But it depends how clean you keep your skin. You know, you have to clean your skin properly. Your skin has to be squeaky clean before you put on any product because you're layering. So if you're putting product on top of unclean skin, what do you think is going to happen? You know, you're going to end up with a big mess. So at home, you can exfoliate. You can use a mask once a week. Clay masks are very good for detoxification. Hydrating masks, obviously, if your skin's a little bit drier. The difference between dry skin and dehydrated skin is dehydration is when you see lots of fine lines and wrinkles and the skin looks a bit parched. This is lacking in water. When you dry, it looks very tight and very patchy. And sometimes you can even see the flakes of skin on the face. So that is a typical dry skin. But most of us are a combination in some way or another.
Really good tips that you just shared there. I'm wondering, when we talk about cleaning our face, so I worked for a company very well known, and they have a 3-step process that you use the soap, and then you use the toner, and then you use the first moisturizer. And many times when I would use the toner, the cotton pad was still dirty. I thought, oh my gosh, like I'm not actually washing my face properly. So any tips you can share there?
Okay, so in the morning, you've been sleeping all night. So a lot of people think because you've been sleeping all night and you had a shower before you went to bed, you don't need to wash your face in the morning. That's very wrong, because although everything to do with the body slows down, everything to do with the face speeds up. Yeah, everything, sorry, not the face, the skin. That didn't sound quite right, that sentence. So everything happens, the regeneration process happens at night. So it's very important for you to wash your face, put on your moisturizers for night, and then when you wake up in the morning, you've sweated at night, there's oil secretion at night. So you must wash your face in the morning and then start again. And a moisturizer for the day protects, and you put on a proper serum specific to your skin type, and a sunblock. And then at night, you can use another moisturizer and another serum. But nowadays, a lot of the moisturizers are doing day and night. So it depends on the brand. But at night, you must double cleanse. So wash your face once over, rinse it off, and then rinse out a damp face cloth. And I always like to finish with that, because then you get all around the hairline, take the eye makeup up properly, and it just cleans. There's a bit of an abrasion there, so it just cleans a little bit deeper.
Wonderful tips there. We're going to take a break, but when we come back, I want to talk about the fact that when we look at the products that we keep with us for cleaning, for moisturizing, there is a difference in many cases that the products we use during the day, some of them have sunscreen built into them. So let's talk about whether or not it makes sense to use them at night when we are going to retire for the evening. And we'll be back to discuss that. And now we're going to listen and watch one of our sponsors, Listening to Smile, Dana Cato, and we'll be right back.
The music, services, and programs that we offer at Listening to Smile are based off of scientific studies and research, along with our own personal experiences and testimonials from our clients and our affiliates that we work with worldwide. My own personal journey began in around 2010, and I tried to find relief from a chronic illness that I was diagnosed with. And the traditional ways of healing, they tried to fit me in this box, and that didn't work for me for so many reasons. And this led me to a self-discovery that I never expected to be so life-changing. Healing is multifaceted. It requires us to really look at our whole selves and to get really honest about what we see. I started to see movement towards recovery when I started to integrate yoga into my life daily. When I started to incorporate the music into all aspects of my life, including my yoga practice, my healing completely accelerated. And listening to Smile's music helped me to open my consciousness. I was able to open my eyes to new perspectives and make changes that I needed to make in order to recover. The most noticeable difference that I saw right away, like immediately after listening to my first frequency track, was how much my anxiety stopped, completely stopped. There was such a relief. My mind was actually quiet for the first time in so many years. I felt safe. I felt this comfort and this peace immediately. I continued to listen daily, and I found that amazing things were happening inside of me. I felt calmer, I felt happier, I felt like I was in this little bubble of peace. Physically, I started to see the changes happening. I started to see the things happening in my body that needed to happen for me to heal from my illness. I felt empowered, I felt hopeful, and something that I hadn't felt in years. This is why we at Listening to Smile integrate yoga and Listening to Smile music together. We see such a huge benefit from integrating the music into other modalities of healing. It accelerates these modalities, it steps them up to another level because it works on the brainwave states and the neural pathways in the brain. This is something that is not very easy for us to do alone at home, but the Listening to Smile music makes that possible. This is where real change happens. This is where the body and the mind sync up and work towards health of the being as a whole. That is true health, and Listening to Smile frequency music will get you there.
Hello and welcome back to USA Global TV, home of Talking Heads, and hello to our friends listening on Business Talk Radio. We've got a brand new show today. It's so exciting. Secrets to Timeless Beauty. My co-host and friend Katrina Valente is here with us, and we have just been having some wonderful gems that you've been sharing with us today. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So let's go to the products. Sorry, go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, it's things that I think are so simple, but so many women are just not aware of it, you know. When you start talking to people, it's like very few of them have proper skincare routines in place and that kind of thing. So yeah.
And it's so important. And I don't know now with us going through the pandemic what things are like, but typically from my experience when I was working in the cosmetic industry, you had two types of potential clients. The drugstore client, the person that's going to the grocery store, the drugstore, they see all the brands there, they're shopping for food and they pick up the mascara and they pick up whatever the moisturizer. The people, actually three types of clients. And then the people who are going to go to the big box retailers and they're going to, sit in the chair and have a makeover done. And then the third kind who's maybe going to go to a specialist and they're going to have custom products that are designed. So how does someone manage on a budget to have beautiful skin if they can't go into category 2 or 3?
What I would advise is go to a skincare specialist. Most of them will give free consultations and get a proper diagnosis on your skin. Because I find that when you go to these outlets, the big Sephoras of the world, they're there to sell. That is their primary concern, to sell you as many products as they can. You come to someone like me, I have a genuine interest in making your skin better. I don't care about how much money you spend. It's important to me that you get the end result, because there is my reputation. So that, and generally, authentically, therapists are a bit more like that. So I would suggest, even if you have to pay for it, it's worth it, because you'll make no mistakes, you'll save a lot of money in the long run, and you'll get the proper products, because it's a minefield out there. There are so many products available, and you just have to understand what your skin needs. We don't need a lot of product. It's getting the right product that's important.
I love that, because you're right. When we go into these retailers, they're, can I help you? Can I help you? And you end up with that basket. My basket's always so full. And then I get home thinking, why did I buy purple mascara? And like all these things that I don't need. So
excited in the moment, and you think, oh yeah, that sounds, and then and then it sits there and you never use it. Waste of money.
And you start adding up how much you spent. It's crazy.
You see, the thing is, with cheaper products and clinical products, what the difference there is, the amount of active ingredients. So with a professional product, something that has to be prescribed to you, it will always have a higher percentage of active ingredients. And there is the key, because actives turn the skin around quicker. When you buy a cheaper product, it has more filler in it. Although nowadays, I have to say, they are getting a bit better. I favor Olay and L'Oreal for supermarket brands. They're not bad. You know, I've tested a lot of products in the past. And you certainly don't have to go to the high end like La Mer, Natura Bissé. I think they're a waste of money. But go and get a good clinical product, because they're spending money on the ingredients, not the packaging and the marketing. That's the big difference.
Good points.
And a lot of people don't understand that, you know. And SPFs also are very important. Do not go and buy an SPF for your face from a supermarket, because a lot of the time the number it has on it is not the number it's protecting you from. So there's a miscommunication there. Whereas if you go to a skincare brand, they'll always give you a much higher quality. So even if you can't afford to use it for the body, get a good quality one for your face. And
Perfect.
Another thing that people don't know about is the SPF. What an SPF means is that you can be out in the sun. If there's an SPF 20, you can be out in the sun 20 times longer before your skin burns. Well, that's never going to happen, because after an hour, the sunblock starts to disintegrate. So you have to keep reapplying it. So actually, you don't need to go any higher than a 30, because after a 30, they get very chemical. And that's when you can start having problems with hyperpigmentation, acne, sensitivity. So that's a really good tip that not a lot of people know.
That's a great tip. And now when we think about the SPF, this was the question I teed up before the break. So let's say we don't have enough money or a budget to get products for the day and products for the night, but we know we need sunscreen. So we buy a moisturizer that has SPF of 15 or 20. Can we use that at night before we go to sleep? And if not, what will happen?
No. Because our sunblock has got specific ingredients in it to protect you from UV light. To use it at night is a waste of time. Remember, the key words for the morning are moisturize, and for the night, it's to nourish. But nowadays, a lot of the clinical brands, you can use the creams day and night. But if you've got a moisturizer with SPF, just keep it for the day, and then get another cream for the night. Or if you've got oilier skin, you might not need a cream. You can just use a serum at night. You know, it greatly depends on what skin type you are. But you basically need a cleanser, toner, moisturizer, serum, eye cream. 5 products.
5 products. Okay. Now, what about buying a foundation that has a sunscreen in it? So I have it has 15. Do I need a moisturizer with sunscreen and I need the foundation, or just one or the other?
I mean, if you have 2, it's not a problem, but one or the other is good. A lot of the foundations nowadays do have SPF, and it's great, because a lot of women say, oh, I don't wear any makeup, and they think that's a good thing, but it's actually not, because the more product you have on your skin, the more protection you're giving it. The key is to clean it off properly at night. So actually, the more products you have on, the foundation, the SPF, the serums, it's a good thing, because it's protecting you.
Now that is a huge statement, folks. I hope you heard that. Say it again, Katrina, please.
If you don't wear makeup, don't think you're doing good. You're not. The more product we have on our face, the more protected it is from sun damage, from UV light, from aging, from the free radical damage. So if you've got foundation, serum, moisturizer, sunblock, it's great because the skin is being protected. And if you're using quality products, don't think you're going to clog up your pores. You're not. You're protecting. The key is to make sure you wash them off properly at night. And it's the best thing you can do for yourself, honestly.
Wow, who knew that I was doing the right thing all this time because I love makeup?
You can tell by looking at you. Come on.
Now, thank you. Something I'm just noticing as we're talking, your face and your neck match, whereas my face and my neck don't because I don't have anything. Is your skin all the same color all the way through? Or should I say maybe mine's not and I need to put makeup here?
Is it the lighting's very bad? I promise I'll get my professional lighting out for next time. Is my face and my neck, you mean right now?
Yes, yeah, they look like they're the same color, whereas mine doesn't.
Yeah, I match up the foundation, and you take it under the chin, and just the remains, you just, you don't cover your neck in foundation, but just take, when you're blending in the face, just blend it down under the chin and just, a little bit left on your fingers, and it just all blends in. But I use the Environ foundation, which is clinical. So it's a medium kind of coverage. But the mineral makeups are the best because they really absorb the skin. And if you put the foundation on, not that I know much about makeup, I've never really been into makeup so much. I do the basics and that's it. But if you use a makeup brush, it puts the foundation on even lighter, even thinner. So
exactly
that's
right.
Yeah. Not that I do that, but it is a better way. Even with a sponge, it's better. But then I don't do the contouring or anything, so yeah, leave that to the professionals.
One thing that I learned when I was actually doing makeovers for people is that the brush that you're talking about, I have a brush, I also have sponges. Anything that goes or touches liquid has to be cleaned. So whereas if it's a dry product, if it's an eyeshadow, I still clean my brushes usually once a month, which maybe I should do it more often. But if it's going into a liquid, so I would put the foundation on my hand along with the liquid bronzer. I'd mix it together and then take the brush and then put it on. And you have to wash that brush because now it's going to potentially could have germs on it if you don't clean it.
They're one of the most bacteria-ridden things in your bathroom. And don't use a face cloth more than once either. Use it, put it in the washing machine. Because you're shedding thousands, hundreds of thousands of skin cells a day. So if you're going to, we once did an experiment where we washed our body every day for 5 days, did the body brushing, and then took the face cloth over our body. And by the 5th day, it was stinking. Really.
Not hygienic, that's for sure.
Not hygienic at all.
So Katrina, I have a question for you in reference to this area. So I've heard over time that as we age and our skin gets drier, and this doesn't apply to me, by the way, but that we shouldn't bathe as much. Is there any validity to that?
As in a bath?
As in washing your skin every day because we're older and we don't have as much oil or collagen, etc.
I don't
Not
think
true.
So.
I don't think so either. But
even if it was true, I definitely wouldn't be doing it. I think older people, like 75 plus, they'll have maybe 1 shower a day or 1 bath a day, but then they're not as active. I think when you're active, you have to clean your body. There's parasites sit on your body, tiny little, mites that are bacteria. You have to wash yourself. And a very good tip which is not about skincare, but it's related to skincare, is you can clean your mattress by just using bicarbonate of soda. You get the tins, they're about this big. Mix some tea tree oil or some oil that you like. Rosemary is very antibacterial, basil, cypress, thyme. Mix some drops of essential oil in the bicarbonate soda and sprinkle it all over your mattress, and then rub it in and leave it for about an hour, and then vacuum it off, and it lifts out all the dirt from the mattress. It's amazing and super cheap.
I love this. I actually just went and bought a mattress cover, and I used essential oils on it before I put the mattress cover on. But what about our pillows? I was just reading that we need to change our pillows more often than not. Can you use this process on that?
Yeah, they say that we should change our pillowcase every 3 days, because your hair's on it. If you don't wash your hair every day, you're getting all the dust and grime from the day, and your face is on the pillow. But I mean, I just get my pillows washed. I send them to the laundry, or if they fit in the washing machine, you put them in the washing machine. But yeah,
I never thought of that. The actual pillow you put right in the machine.
Yeah. And I have feather down pillows, and they come out fine. You just put them outside. Of course, I live in a hot country, so everything dries in 5 minutes. That's a good thing about it. But yeah, it's very important. And you know, sleeping on your side, it wrinkles your face. I mean, the best way to sleep is on your back, but who does that? But then I think they've brought out these pillows that have got you go to the side and there's a hole in them. They're being advertised. Yeah, they've been advertised on Instagram and stuff. So they would be a great solution, because you do get wrinkles from the way you sleep, especially on the décolleté if you're on your side, you know, all your skin creases up, and that's how you get all the wrinkles in the cleavage and everything. So yeah. Yeah.
Now, so I have 1,000 questions to ask you, but just based on what you just said there, I remember one of the movie stars, her name escapes me right now, but she shared that the reason this area looks so good is because she sleeps with a bra. She wears a bra all the time. Yeah. Any thoughts that you have about that for our audience?
Yeah, it's a good thing if you sleep with a bra, because it keeps your boobs in place. But, you know, it's not very comfortable. But it was Jerry Halliwell from the Spice Girls saying that. And it kept her bust good. Yeah. But, yeah, it's a good tip. If you're willing to do it, I take my hat off to you.
Leave that bra on.
But also, underwire bras are very bad. They promote breast cancer, because they stop the lymph from working properly. So any woman that's had breast cancer will tell you never use underwire bras. And you know, they say you should leave your boobs free without a bra, without anything. They need to just breathe properly. So yeah, that's another tip.
So we have a dichotomy there. The dichotomy is, if you wear the bra, then you're probably not going to have all the wrinkles that you might have. And if you don't wear it, maybe they're not getting enough free time. So what's one to do?
Yeah, maybe you can compromise. Maybe you can wear it to bed 4 nights a week, and the other 3 just.
I love it. Katrina, we're coming to the end of our show, but I do have one more question for you for today. And of course, we'll be back next week. So my question is, you mentioned you live in a very hot country. You're in Dubai. And for people who exercise, they are perspiring, they're sweating, they already took a shower, and now they just exercise. Should they take another shower because of the parasites? Because I know a lot of people who don't. So what are your thoughts on that? Yes.
After they've worked out, they don't shower.
And even if they don't sweat, it's, you know, if you're in a gym or wherever it is, you're in yoga touching.
Listen, you're talking to the gym queen here. I train 2 hours a day. The gym is the most bacteria infested place you can ever be. Whether you sweat or not is irrelevant. You have to have a shower after you've been to the gym. End of story.
Here, here. I totally agree. I even bring a giant towel that I don't sit on any of the equipment. I put the towel down and then I wipe in between every, but I see people in the gym, they're just sitting right down on that equipment. They leave the gym. They don't go into the bathroom and wash their hands. I'm not judging, but I just see it and I think, oh, this isn't good.
Yeah. I mean, I think we have to live with bacteria. It's good for us, but I think you have to be aware of it. You know, in the gym, you've got a lot of sweaty men. A lot of men don't keep themselves as clean as women do. But, you know, when you sweat on the face, you have a film of sweat, and that all sticks in with the bacteria, the dust, the grime. You have to wash that off. You have to get it off your face, you know. But
now
no,
we're going from one thing to the other and we're going to the gym. All right. We just finished work. We're going into the gym. We have a full face of makeup. Is that okay to have it on?
That's okay. I wear my makeup to the gym. That's fine. But just wash your face after you're finished. I mean, it's not ideal because when you sweat, the pores open. That gives way for dirt to get in, bacteria. Your makeup's there. But as long as you wash it off properly afterwards, it's never been a problem for me, you know.
I love it. Good tip. One tip that I have, and I'd love for you to weigh in on this, is I have found after you are perspiring, I color my own hair. I used to go someplace, but I do it myself now. After you're perspiring and you come home, do not color your hair then, because your pores are all open and then the product goes right, it sinks into your pores and it is very painful, friends. Not something good to do.
And it's very, very, I mean, blonde isn't so bad, but dark hair dyes are very toxic. Very toxic. So no, try and avoid that. That is correct information.
Because what I used to do is I would wash my hair, dry my hair, and then color it. And then what happens is your pores are still open because you just dried your hair. So it's kind of like, well, what's the right time to do it? But that can be for another show.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a hairdresser. We'll get a hairdresser on to give her weigh in on that.
Exactly. So that's something I wanted to share with our audience, is that we would love to have you as a guest. I'm putting up here, you can email me, you can get in touch with Katrina. I'm putting up her information afterwards. So Katrina, for people who are watching or listening, what types of subjects would we like to have people come on and talk about with us?
Well, we can talk about skin, we can talk about anti-aging, we can talk about supplements, vitamins, emotional therapies, mental health. You know, anti-aging isn't about one thing, it's about many different things. There's not one thing is gonna make you look 10 years younger. You've got to do many different things that acquire you to live a long, healthy life. You know, and for me, that is what anti-aging means. You can be beautiful at any age. You know, people put you in a box when you get into your 40s and your 50s and your 60s, but beauty is beauty, you know. And I think society, and that's why I don't like telling people how old I am, because they immediately tag you with something or another, you know. But I think age is a number. It really is a number, and it's how you live your life. It's the energy that you portray, exude from yourself, you know, and how healthy and fit you are. That's what matters.
Very true. Very true. I think it would be also nice to have nutritionists come on. Also people who are longevity experts and people who are into the world of fitness like you. I go to the gym for 2 hours. I'm in there killing myself with the jumping rope and the push-ups and everything. And I said this to you, I think yesterday, is
Yeah.
that I see a major change in my skin and my ability to build muscle. So it's changed. It used to be I could do certain exercises and I get a nice pump, they would call it, right? And now that doesn't happen. I have to go above and beyond. And I think you also have to be very conscious and conscientious of your diet and also how much water you're drinking.
Yes. I mean, you can have supplements that will help with that. I think creatine helps to explode the muscles a little bit. It keeps the volume there. So you need to take things like that are going to help you. But yeah, it's definitely, we could get a specialist on to talk about that. It's a very interesting subject. And especially as you get older, you really lose something. With each year that goes by, you see that the change is happening, especially when you reach perimenopause, menopause, and you go through these changes. And for a woman, it's horrible, but we have to, get experts on anti-aging experts. I'm working with a holistic doctor at the moment who is correcting all my hormones. Because I've just been diagnosed with having hypothyroidism. And she's super interesting. She cured herself of not being able to get pregnant when the doctors told her there was absolutely nothing wrong with her. She went and did IVF. She didn't get pregnant. And then she went down the holistic route. And within 4 months, she was pregnant. She's now got 3 healthy children. And she stepped on the path of holistic health. And so I've got a ton of supplements to take, but they're all natural. And that's the way I prefer to go, rather than take all these chemical substances. So she would be very interesting to have on.
So do you work with your clients to give them a roadmap of how they can go with a holistic approach as opposed to any other?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, because I'm looking at the mind, body, spirit, I can tell where they are emotionally. You can tell a lot from looking at the skin. If they have gut problems, if they have liver problems, kidney problems, it all shows up on the skin. And because I'm doing reflexology, I can feel where they're having problems in their body. So then I would advise them or send them to people that can help them. I mean, I'm not a doctor. But I do know a lot, and I've always been a big believer in supplements and vitamins, and we need them in this day and age. Your food is not going to cut it. You don't know how long it's been sitting in the supermarket. You cannot weigh how much vitamin C is in an orange, for instance. And so I always think supplementation is a good way to go. And being blood tested regularly, because we don't need everything all of the time. And I think if we listen to our body speaks to us every single day. We just have to listen to it and then act accordingly.
All really good points. Thank you for sharing that. I wanted to close out with sharing the picture of me when I had my lips done and I had my face done. This was in 2012. I just found the picture. Can you see?
Oh, wow. Yeah, they're not so bad. You look fabulous.
Well, look at my day. How do you say that? Décollage?
Décolleté.
Décolleté. Look how sun damaged it is.
Yeah,
and then
a little bit.
Yeah. So that was me.
From your face. But you can correct it. It's never too late. And, don't think women get to a certain age and think, oh, I'm past being helped. No, the skin is a living organ. As long as you're living and breathing, it can be reversed.
Love that. I love that. Everybody out there, did you hear that? It can be reversed. Your skin is with you throughout your whole life, and it's never too late to go down a direction that is a positive and healthy one.
It's regenerating. It's just when we get older, the regeneration process slows down. But there's many things you can do to speed it up. Many things.
Of course, something else I just thought of. I keep saying the show's ending, and I keep going. But if there used to be some kind of test that you would pull the skin here, and how quickly it goes down shows your age. Is that valid?
Yeah, it is a little bit. I think the hands are a big reveal for a woman's age. I mean, nowadays they're using fillers, hyaluronic acid, they're doing laser on the hands, peeling on the hands, but the hands have a lot of wear and tear in life. You know, you're using your hands every day, and the back of the hands are sadly neglected. So you should always start to carry a hand cream with you.
And the hand cream should also have SPF in it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of hand creams do, and also AHA, because we want to keep regeneration going on the hands, you know. But your hands are like the forehead; they don't have a lot of excess skin, so this is also what makes them look old, because there's no plumping like on the cheeks. It's like the forehead. You've got skin and bone behind it, and the hands are the same way. So this is why it's a challenge to keep your hands looking young.
But it sounds like we can reverse it if we do the right things. Is that correct?
Definitely, definitely.
Excellent. Well, I would love to continue on today. We've got another show, and you and I will be back next week. So, Katrina, can you please share with people how they can reach out to you? Let me get your banner back up. How can people contact you, and what services can you provide to them?
Okay, so if you're in Dubai, obviously I can do all the hands-on stuff. I do online work with the clearings and the coachings and the readings. You can follow me on Instagram. I post every day. It's just my name, Katrina Valente, and the number 1. My website is also my name, katrinavalente.com, and that gives you all the information about me and what I can offer you. And Facebook also, just my name.
Wonderful. It has been an absolute pleasure doing this show with you. And I hope that folks, you'll come back and join us every week. We're going to be changing our time because Katrina and I are 9 hours apart. So we have to find a time that is going to work, but I'll be posting about it. And I also put Katrina's information on all the social media platforms, so you can contact her by looking there.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jacalyn. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. It's great seeing you
so quickly.
I know, doesn't it? It's amazing. It is. But I really appreciate it. There's a lot of great information, and I know people are really going to get a lot of value out of it based on what we saw today as well.
Thank you. Hope so.
Thank you. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your evening. All right. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Wow, I learned so much, and I hope you did as well. If you missed any of our show, just go over to USA Global TV and subscribe on YouTube, and you can watch anytime you want. So we've got a number of shows coming up today. We've got holiday traditions where we're going to focus on Christmas. We've got the Wise Ones, stories of hope, inspiration, overcoming adversity, a special edition. And we've got the Business Talk Show, and also elevated listeners on the Listening Mentor. So thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. We love having you engage with us on social media. So even after the fact, you can go now and you can put some comments in social media. Katrina and I would really appreciate that. Thank you again. We wish you all the best, and we look forward to seeing you very soon on our next show, which starts in 1 hour and 3 minutes. Take care. Bye.